Hello and welcome to this video series. We're checking out submissions to the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. And this time we will have a look at Waltz for Heaven. And before we get to the game, let's have a look at, well, the description and the credits. Because that's a bunch of people who worked on that. Well, 3 I guess. Art by Cessia Castillo, music by Tom Haley, and writing and programming by Kestrel. And they run under different names in each, I guess. It's CYLANDIA, Isabelle, Adena, Kestrel, and Wudley. Alright, the music stopped, but let's just quickly go through the description here. Made in a few days' time for Dungeoncrawler Jam 2023, not anywhere near complete, only 2 ghosts to dance with, but a nice little sample of what's to come. If you enjoy this little demo, please comment so that we can be excited about making more for you. WSD to move, Q&E to turn, enter spacebar to interact. Alright, so they're mentioning here that the web build here is not working for Mac. So for the Mac version, there's a download version, but I can't use it because I don't have a Mac, so I need to use the web version. The web version, however, I mean, web versions can have some issues, and in this case, it doesn't. It might have an issue, I didn't check yet, but it has a problem with full screen. So if I turn full screen on, you basically just get a black screen with this in it. So it's not stretching it or anything like that. It's just displaying the same thing with a black border around that. So I can as well just keep it as it is. So let's just start the game and see what we have to do. I fear the worst, not because of the game, but because I'm very bad with rhythm games. So let's see. So regarding the perspective, maybe we start with that. It's pretty much perfect. We see the walls left. I mean, if that was, maybe this is totally irrelevant for this case, but I'm just going through that like I would do usually. The perspective is pretty much perfect for a normal crawler. We can see the walls left and right. We can see the floor we are standing on, and if there were items which we needed to pick up, which will probably not be, then we could pick them up. With the controls, it is kind of an like the movement forward looks nice, but it doesn't feel very nice to control it. I think the speed of the animation is just fine. Couldn't be any slower, then it would be annoying. But the problem is more that it's not queuing up commands. So you can neither go forward left, forward left, forward left. So I'm turning left, right? Forward turning left. Nor can I forward hold left, forward hold left, forward hold left. So that's basically just cutting off. As soon as an animation is playing, nothing else will do. And you also cannot hold the forward button. So that is super restrictive. And this might also mean that the dancing will get even more problematic if you don't have like the perfect rhythm because it might just cut off the commands there. So we need to stand here. Oh, hello. You can see me, can you? I'm not sure if everything is displayed on the... I think that's fine. This looks a bit cut off, but I think that's all. You can see me, can you? How quaint. Haven't had any company in a long while. The audio, I think, is only playing on the left side. Not much of a talker, are we? I must say I'm a bit disappointed. I can get a bit lonely drifting through these halls. Say, you wouldn't care to join me for a quick dance? Actions do speak louder than words, don't they? Don't be nervous, it's quite easy. Just follow my steps exactly and you'll do fine. Okay. Yeah. Let's try that one more time, shall we? Oh my, I haven't had that much fun in ages. Shuffling about with you, why, it reminded me of my dear husband. We didn't part on the best of terms, to be honest. I've been a bit afraid of facing him again, but dancing with you brought back some good memories. Ah, what an old fool I've been. Maybe it's finally time to mend things. I know we've only just met, but thank you. Nice. Alright. Well, that was easy. And it's a nice, well, maybe a kind of inside joke, maybe. I'm not sure if it's meant that way. Because with the dancing, it's also, like, the dancing, how it's done in here, it's more like how you're dancing in a real, in crawlers with real-time battle, where just clicking and dancing around the enemy. So I'm not sure if that's a reference to that or... But in any case, that's the thing. That's not a trap. And unfortunately we can't get to the last ghost then. Alright, let's see what we need to do here. It is hot in here, or is it just me? Ha, I'm just kidding. I know it's me. Aren't you a little cutie? Oh, where have you been all my afterlife? I bet you know how to handle haunting young women like me. Care to take me for a spin? Oh god. Alright. You wouldn't leave a girl unsatisfied, would you? Ah, okay, so... That's cool. How do we use that? Yeah, it's very, very lenient. Ah, okay, so it's just the turning. You know, I was just looking for an excuse to make you sweat. But I'll be honest, you surprised me. You're quite light on your feet, as it turns out. I do miss touching the ground sometimes, feeling the grass between your toes. Or nice chocolate cake. Squish. Haha, I'm just kidding. What kind of freak would step on a perfectly good chocolate cake? A vanilla cake, maybe. Fluffy and soft, like cloud. I wonder what clouds feel like. Well, only one way to find out. See you on the other side. Be good, maybe I let you see my other side when you get there. Alright. Alright, yeah, and that's it already. So, actually, in this case, I thought I would have liked that it would have been even a bit more challenging. This was even easy for me as someone who has really problems with hitting the rhythm. Just check out the videos about the last gem in the rhythm games. Even though I would claim that part of that is also because of inaccurate like rhythm and how you have to hit that, but yeah, so in that case you had so much time to hit the buttons that was hard to fail that, and they were relatively short. So yeah, I like how the visuals are very fitting. The sound was also fine, but in the end, I mean, it was basically just music, right? There's nothing else. So yeah. So regarding, let's go through the categories I'm usually noting down. As I mentioned before, the perspective is perfect, the controls are not, and I think that would have been more of an issue if the dance was more challenging, if they were really close together, like forward, left, forward, left, forward, left, or something like that. Then you would have struggled, because then at some point it's just not doing anything. So in any case, I would like to see that improved. For the actual dance part, I mean, that is kind of a nice idea. Also, I like that with the second one, you also had the keys showing up, so that was nice. The content, of course, in total was very short and not a lot going on. Even if there were like 3 of them, it was short. Maybe it would have been good just to have like twice or 3 times the length of these challenges, or like each ghost has multiple challenges or something like that. So so that you get more out of these textures, for example. I mean, they were really just extremely brief, so I think you can do more with the same without adding more like sprites and so on, which of course is additional work. The music was nice. Regarding sound, there basically was no other sound, so there's that. There is the issue, though, that the jam requires basically combat and kind of a fail state, that you can die or can fail or something like that. And yeah, this game doesn't have that. So it would be, I think it would be like what we call soft disqualified for the rating and so on. So yeah, I will need to check that. But overall, I think besides of that, I think it's well, you could maybe argue that we defeated the ghosts by dancing with them. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, and also like the duality theme wasn't really put in. Maybe we were alive and they were dead. But the duality theme, I mean, you can always make something up. But with the combat and fail state and that thing, that's a bit more like, let's call it serious, that it's properly implemented. So we will need to check that. But that said, I think it's a nice like crawler environment anyways, and I think that's nicely done by these nice people here, the 3 people, New CYLANDIA, Isabelle, Adena, Kestrel, and Wudley. So I think yeah, it was a nice entry. If there was yeah, I mean, this is kind of a requirement here, but yeah. But I think you can expand on that and maybe do something more with it. Could be cool. So if you're interested in checking out that game, you can find a link down in the video description, and maybe you will already find an updated version by the time you are watching that, so that you could go forward to this green ghost and dance with him or her. But that's it for now. And if you like to watch other videos for the jam, you will also find a playlist where I put all the videos I published so far. And you can also subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss any new episodes I'm publishing. And after the jam, of course, my reviews and previews. And with that, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.